Hello, everybody. Welcome. So today we have our first episode of We the People podcast, and we are lucky to have you all with us today, tuned in. I just want to introduce my counsel first on my left-hand side, so we'll go ahead and do that.
Hi everyone, my name is Kaden. I'm your sophomore class vice president, and I'm double majoring in liberal studies, pre-law, and political science, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hello everybody, my name is Mariah Couch. I will be serving as Miss Sophomore for this school year, and I'm a civil engineering student from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Hello everybody, my name is Brianna Elbert. I will be serving as the Chief of Staff this school year, and I'm a bio pre-med student from Kernersville, North Carolina.
Hey everybody, my name is Miles Norwood, and I will be serving as Mr. Sophomore for this year. I am a psychology student all the way from Atlanta, Georgia.
And my name is Corey Smith II. I'm serving as sophomore class president for this year. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I am a criminal justice major. So we have our guest over here to our right.
Hi everybody, my name is Naya Evans. I'm a sophomore honors bioengineering student from Prince George's County, Maryland.
What's up everybody, my name is Savion Meeks. I'm a junior political science student here on the pre-law track with a minor in public relations. And I'm also the junior class president.
Hi everyone, I'm Anala. I'm a junior psychology major from Greenville, North Carolina.
Hi y'all, my name is Shania Brown. I'm a senior political science major with a minor in Spanish from Union, South Carolina.
Thank you all. All right, so thank you all everyone for coming and everything. So the purpose of this podcast is to get our student body involved and engaged, specifically the sophomore class. Our first episode is going to be on campus resources. We're going to highlight a few resources that took place last week that were, present at the career fair that Savion had, Mr. Junior Class President. Okay, so you go ahead and you can just speak on that.
So on August 30th, last Wednesday, we had our first resource fair. And so the intentionality behind the event was so that incoming students and people on campus can already get familiar faces with resources on campus, so you can put a face to a name and know who to contact for exact resources.
And I feel like that was good, simply because a lot of our students at our school, I know it was for the junior class, but in particular, a lot of the freshmen came out, so and that was just amazing to have something for them, coming into school, they can see all the people and everything, just firsthand and everything like that. So we do have our special speakers here today. They're going to be talking about certain resources here.
So I've had quite a lot of experience with counseling services. I've had a diagnosis of depression and generalized anxiety disorder since I was 16. And so coming into college was kind of a difficult time for me because my uncle had just passed away, and then I moved in that next week. So it was a lot going on, and it was a lot for me to process. And I got in touch with counseling services here on this campus, and it really helped me to acclimate to the college experience, but also grieve my loss that I experienced before I even got here. And I think it's really great to have resources like this, just because mental health in the Black community is still stigmatized. We still judge people for going to therapy or having struggles. So it's you really can't win. So I had to really make the decision for myself to, tap in with the resource and do what was best for me. They have several different resources. So I did personal counseling, but they also have group therapy. They have a live-in recovery community, so that's for people who, before they come to college or their time here, they're in recovery, whether that's from an illness or an injury. They also do testing if you need to be tested for any disorder or any attention disorder, anything like that. But all around, they're really great. They really work with you if you work with them. And they're located in Murphy Hall.
So how long where there's sessions that y'all would set up to work around,
Yeah, so
hardship?
It depends on the availability of your therapist, and there are different therapists. So for me, when I first came in, I had a white dude. Right, but that next year, I got a Black woman just because I identify with her more. So they have different options. The sessions, it determines on what you want. That's what I like about therapy. You can kind of tailor it to what you want as a person. But most sessions are hour long, and they happen on a bi-weekly basis or weekly basis. It just depends on what you need. Like when I first started, I was going on a weekly basis just because I needed more help. But now I go on a bi-weekly basis. Sometimes it's only once a month. So it just depends. You can really tailor it to what you need.
And last thing, like, what type of advice would you give to students who are kind of, who stay to themselves and, don't really want to reach out for help,
I would say you're your best advocate. Nobody knows the way that you're feeling. Nobody knows the thoughts in your head, so you have to share them, which is something that I struggle with too. Because being on a new place, you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I was even apprehensive doing this because I don't want to be seen in a certain type of light. But at the same time, like, you just gotta say it. You just gotta advocate for yourself and be there for yourself, because you're not weak if you ask for help. You're actually strong. Like, asking for help is a sign of a strong person, because you know that you can't handle it yourself. And I think for me, it was really important to find a community, just because I'm from South Carolina, which is just down the street, but I don't have anybody that goes here. I don't have any Aggies in my family. I don't have like people who are rooted here to be a community outside of school, so I really had to find that within here. So I would say just reach out. Like, I know you're scared and it's scary and it's gonna be hard and you're gonna cry, but that's okay, because the healing is very rewarding. So
I like that.
I also would add, Murphy Hall is not like the only place that students can be transparent at. Us as ESLs this past summer, we got mental health first aiders certified. So also come to your student leaders and you can vent to us as well. I think transparency is key, especially within the Eugene administration, as we're trying to build on collective responsibility and unity.
I really want to build on what she said about you're not weak if you ask for help. I feel like this is one of the first times in like a lot of people's lives where like away from a lot of family, it's like you're by yourself. You don't really know what direction to go in. So I feel like the best way to thrive and keep going up is to reach out, ask for help, put your hand out so somebody can put theirs back out to help you keep going. So I really like that statement.
I also wanted to chime in. I think it's important to know that you don't necessarily need a diagnosis to go to therapy. I feel like therapy is good for everybody.
Especially for Black men.
Right. Exactly.
I have a question. So, like, just to feed off of it, if you have a friend and you kind of want to advise them to go to therapy, how do y'all feel like that's the best way to say it without, just like straight up you need therapy?
I would say provide them with resources first.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe have a conversation prior to you providing the resources, but maybe have a conversation with them, just try and check in. And if they're not receptive to you, then, give them a resource. Because I think for me, it's kind of hard to really believe that people care about me, like just because that's the nature of it or whatever. But for me, don't ever attack somebody or try to force them to do it, because it's going to end up backfiring and the situation could be worse than it was before. So I think just making sure that y'all have a relationship where you can actually do that. Making sure that this person trusts you. Trust is very important when it comes to like therapy and counseling, because if I don't trust you, then I'm not going to share. It doesn't matter how many resources you give me. It doesn't matter how much you say to me. If I do not trust you, I will not share. Right. So I think just making sure that you have a foundation of trust in your friendship or relationship or whatever it may be. And also like not pressuring them. Right. Allowing them to make that decision on their own, because at the end of the day, you can help me as much as you want to, but if I don't help myself, then you know what I'm saying, nothing's really gonna change. So just like making them realize that this situation is about them. Like, while you may be concerned, your concern is about them. It's about them and their well-being and their mental health.
You never want to overstep like your boundary as a friend.
And that was like one of the things that they taught us while we were getting mental health certified over the summer as ESLs. Basically, like, assess the situation first, and then give them the resources and kind of, let them, venture out on their own. So, yeah, I mean, that's good, yeah.
Because you can't help everybody, and, everybody doesn't feel comfortable coming to you for help. So I think that's really a good It's the start of just assessing the situation because we aren't paid professionals.
Right, we don't,
We're not therapists, we're not life coaches, we're students, and we all have different lives. So just giving, I think space is like one thing that I always ask for. Just give me the space to just reflect on how I'm feeling because I can't change how I'm feeling if I don't know.
That's good. We appreciate you for sharing it. Thank you.
Thank you for being transparent.
Yes, for real, because that takes a lot. It takes a confident person to do that, so we appreciate that. Kind of gonna shift things over a little bit. I'll give you your time. I know you wanted to speak on a few things, mental health resources and stuff as well, right?
Yeah, so MK Counseling Service does a great job at being an open space for students, and I started getting therapy my freshman year of college through NCAD, and I also received a diagnosis then. My sophomore year, I found out about ORS and the Office of Accessibility Resources and how they can help me. NCAD also offers psychiatric treatment if that's what you need for mental health. I also have a diagnosis. I've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. So getting through classes with the diagnosis is they always emphasize it's so many people like you, but it's you looking around, it's you just never know. You just never know what people are going through. And understanding that just because you have a diagnosis, just because you struggle with mental health doesn't make you less of a student or anything like that. But if you need accommodations because of that, they're there. And you have access to them. And I didn't know about them. So it's important that they're actually made known that there's help if you need it. So you can contact ORS. They'll connect with your therapist. They'll contact all your professors for you and send them the accommodations that you may need. And that's something that you do before every academic semester to make sure that it's renewed and up to date.
They also have Together for All or Together All. It's an anonymous app that you can use. So if you don't want to verbally share, you can always go on the app, and it's anonymous. So you can share your thoughts, your feelings, and it's a virtual community of people who are there to support you, which I thought was really cool. I don't think I've ever heard of an app for therapy. Yeah. So it was really cool to check it out.
That's good.
There's also the mental health organizations on campus, such as Active Minds, or there's mental health orgs that's not necessarily registered through NCAT, but still NCAT students spread the love. There's a community of students who are dedicated to it's okay to talk about mental health, removing the stigma from mental health, from therapy, from medication, all of that, because it should be a more normalized conversation. It shouldn't feel I'm attacking you because I'm saying you need therapy. This is a helping hand.
Yeah, that's good. Now, in terms of the student body and everything, so did y'all come in with anything? Did y'all bring anything to these meetings, or when y'all were first, coming up to the counseling services or anything? Is there any sort of paperwork or anything like that, or they just take you right then and there?
So it is paperwork to get to see them regularly, but if you just need someone to talk to on the spot, then you can go and just talk to them. But if it is something you want to do routinely, there is a little bit of paperwork you have to fill out. Take 15 minutes to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah. They have an initial intake survey, which is just gauging your levels. So for me, mine was geared towards depression and anxiety. So it would gauge, they would ask questions, it's questionnaires 1 to 10, and you just rate them based upon if they're like you or not like you. So 1 is unlike me, 5 is very like me. So you just go through the survey, the questionnaire, and like she said, it only takes 15 minutes. So it's really not that. But what I thought was really cool was that we tracked my progress. So I took it that first time, did the semester, took it again, and my levels were way down. I was experiencing high social anxiety, high levels of depression, but by the end, my social anxiety had come down and I was happier. And I think because it's such a mental thing, it's not something that you can really physically hold. It's good to have proof of your progress, because you don't always feel it, you don't always see it, and it's really hard. But to be able to look back and be this is where I was and this is where I am.
And I feel like as people in general, we tend to like focus more on like negative things or like think that negative things like impact us more. But it's important to celebrate like the positive we have.
I agree.
So we good, I would say, mental health counseling services. I think you did a great job.
I did really good.
About that. Yeah. Appreciate you for coming out, both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Talking about that. So I'll kind of we can go to the Honors College now. Talk a little bit about the Honors College, the two ladies on the end, Kaden and Naya. Y'all can speak on that.
I believe that the Honors College definitely offers a lot of resources for students that are in the Honors College as well as not. They offer a lot of different professionalism workshops, networking workshops. It really teaches us how to communicate with other students as well as our professors, making sure that we take advantage to be an advocate for ourselves, because you have to advocate for yourself here in college when it comes to your assignments, your grades, anything. So I really believe that it's just a great resource to have on campus, even networking with other students, not just the deans and the professors, but students can help you as well. So I feel like that has been a great resource here for me at school.
Yeah, and I would say definitely we have a great like mentor-mentee program, not only within honors but also within like the scholar groups. I know I have 2 honors mentors, and they have been great for, like advice on classes, like different resources on campus, that kind of thing. And then now I'm getting to pour that back into my mentees, which is so rewarding. And we met them during honors orientation, which was good, and they were all so excited to be here. So.
That's good. That's good.
Now, if people are interested in like becoming an honors student, how do they do that?
So I believe the application starts at the end of the first semester. So at the end of the first semester, so they will just apply. I believe it's like an essay and 2 letters of recommendation, and making sure to maintain that 3.5 GPA. So they have to have that to enter into the Honors College.
Yeah.
So it is a high GPA to hold, but it's definitely, it's definitely doable.
That's good. That's good. So yeah, that would kind of be my main thing, just for students, because like I know I myself, like I have a scholarship, but like I'm not in the Aggie, the Honors College or anything like that. So like, can y'all kind of give us like what are some of the pros of being in a college, or
Honestly,
because I know y'all get backstage passes and stuff. I know y'all get good stuff, first dibs. You know what I'm saying?
the best thing coming in as a freshman is the living situation.
Okay.
I'm going to say that because we had great dorms. We didn't have the same problems everybody else was having. Like our Wi-Fi was an issue, but like elevators weren't that bad. We had elevators unlike other dorms. We had a lot of space in our rooms. We had good bathrooms. We didn't have communal bathrooms, which I'm
Personal bathrooms.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
But there's a lot of other benefits too.
There's a lot of great perks of being in the honors college. You get invited to different dinners with a lot of companies that pour into our success here. Dinners with the chancellor, networking with other students, other orgs, partnering with the National Society of Black Engineers. There's a lot of just great benefits of being in honors. Community service, so they make sure that we pour into the community of Greensboro. So I believe that's a great benefit.
It's like 10 hours, right?
Yes.
Okay.
10 hours.
This is very doable. It sounds like it can sound like a lot, but it's very doable.
That's a semester, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So how would y'all say the honors program, how did it help you grow as a person from freshman to sophomore year?
Yeah.
I would say for me, I was a completely different person when I first came into college, and kind of just the professional development piece has skyrocketed. I would definitely give a lot of that to SGA, but really with honors, they really plug you in. They give you so many different opportunities, different workshops. They show you how to dress in professional settings. They remind you, they're on you about the career fair, your resume. You have so many different contacts people to go to if you need advice on class, if you need resume review, anything you need, there's always somebody there.
And I had a question. So for the honors program, what advice would you give to people that are interested in the honors program, but something is stopping them? So I know for myself, it's maintaining that 3.5 GPA, that's a lot of pressure. But for somebody that can do it, but they're scared of being on probation or scared of dropping below that, what advice do you have for them if they were interested to applying to the college?
I think it's definitely a major to major thing. The engineers definitely have a tougher time, some people keeping that 3.5, reasonably so. But I think for me, since I'm political science, liberal studies, free law, I just do my work.
Yeah. Just write a whole bunch of papers, right?
I think it's also who you surround yourself with, because I feel like my group of friends, like with us all being honors and everything, we were able to kind of hold each other accountable. Because like yes, we came to college to have fun and enjoy ourselves, but then again during the week we're in the library, we're all holding each other accountable because we all just have a strong desire to like keep that GPA, because like the goals that we have for ourselves. So that's
Right. And even if you're not on it, like still surround yourself with people that have like big goals, big aspirations. Like you always want to be around people that want to have good grades. Like you need to have a balance in college. Like have fun, but also do your work. You want to leave here with an education by the end of the day.
And I heard Savion say balance. So how do y'all like time like manage kind of like honors and then with your social life? So.
That's true.
I wouldn't say that people's time management is great. Like, there's been so many times I was walking through McNeil and I'll see like Miles and Caleb in the study room after hours, like just doing work. Or I'll see like different honors people in the study rooms till like 2, 3 in the morning. So it's really about what works for you. It's like a person to person kind of thing. But you just have to make sure you definitely like build that time into your schedule.
Okay. All right. So we're good with that. Good that topic. Okay. All right. And then Mariah, what you want to talk about?
So the next topic that we're going to talk about is like the different like academic resources that we have on campus. So when we went around the room, you heard like all of the different like majors that we have. We talked about time commitment and time management and like the rigor like of the courses that we have. So I know a big thing that's like that I hear about a lot, that I get a lot of emails about too, is Upswing. So Upswing is basically an online tutoring service that you can use as a 24/7 availability. So you basically like go on the app and you go online. You can find it on the NCAT website, which has a lot of resources as well. And just type in Upswing and you schedule it yourself, choose your tutor, and you're available to like get the help from a tutor. You can set the time that you meet with them, and if that tutor doesn't work, you can also go to another tutor. It's a really good thing to like have access to, even building off of like the office hours that you have with your professors and things like that, just to get like a more one-on-one experience with another student that is more that has more expertise in the subject that you're taking. And yeah, I think it's a very beneficial resource to utilize on campus, and I know Naya has used it, so you can probably speak on it as well too.
Yeah, so the tutors in Upswing, they're actually A&T students. I know they do offer different tutors that are graduate students at other universities, but just like Mariah said, it's a great resource to have because there's students that have already taken these classes. So I utilized Upswing last year. In my chemistry class, I know a lot of people were struggling with chemistry, but I'm really a believer that you need to get a tutor before you need actual help.
Exactly.
Like once you're struggling, you're too late. Like, so you should start early with Upswing. And I believe they're offering this. It just started this week, so students can register now.
And that's a really good point that she just now said. Like, and I used to think this a lot in high school, like now being in college, like with this really hard curriculum, like don't wait until it's too late, because it's a lot of GPA requirements for different scholarships and things like that. So don't think just because you need a tutor that you're not smart or that you're not worthy or like to be in the discipline that you're studying. Like, it's okay to get help. Like we were talking about, the mental health thing, everything. Like this is like a full circle thing. Like it's okay to seek help because we're all here for one reason, and that's to get these degrees and keep these grades up. So don't be scared to ask for help and seek that. Like you won't be made fun of, and if you are, oh well. Like,
we are all here to help one another. That's the point of this, to be honest with y'all. We're literally advocating for the students. Little do we know, giving them certain things, little gems, that they may not have already knew before watching this episode. So that's good. In regards to the Upswing, so are students creating accounts like through their Aggie emails and stuff? That's how we're doing it, or through the Aggie email?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, I think you can it's available, and that's another thing to speak on is the NCAT website.
Oh, yeah.
You can literally go on the NCAT website and literally type in your search engine tutoring NCAT, and it'll pop up. Like it's just be proactive and advocate for yourself. Like just go on there and like type these things in. It's very self-explanatory when you click these links like through the website. So yeah, I believe you just use your Aggie email, and then there's like a calendar thing that you have, and then picking your tutor and the subject, and it's like very self-explanatory from there.
Gotcha. Upswing.
And it's free. Yes.
Exactly, and free.
$3.99. All right. So we'll kind of leave off with y'all too a little bit. Y'all can just talk about a few things that y'all wanted to talk about.
Okay, so Miles and I are going to talk about NCAT website and the importance of like talking to your professors, what it means to have a good connection with your professors. So I guess I'll start, and I'm gonna be real. I've been using the NCAT website since high school when I knew I wanted to go here. And as a freshman, it's like you don't know like that kind of guidance. So just going to the website, seeing like those resources. If you want to apply, let's start at that, okay? If you want to apply to even go to A&T, you have to go to the website. That's where you're gonna find out like where all the information is. And so this is really important. NCAT.edu. Everything's gonna be in there. Access, all of it.
And I guess as it relates to professors, it kind of builds off what they said of like not being scared to put the hand out and not waiting too late. Personally, I feel like when I first got here, I waited too late, and I wish I could go back and change that, because there was a time where I feel like, you're coming from high school and everything, you think you have the whole world figured out. You're in college, you're like, okay, I missed one assignment, I can get that back. Okay, now I'm missing 2 assignments, now I gotta lock in. The next thing you know, you're down a couple of assignments, you're lost, you're struggling, your professor doesn't even know your name. And so for me, it's more of a thing to where I had to kind of humble myself and say, okay, look, I gotta stop being scared to reach out. After a while, it does make me weak to ask for help, and basically just like go talk to my professors more, get to know their names, tell them who I am, tell them that I really want to learn, why I want to be here, and like make that relationship, because it helps in and outside the classroom. It helped if there was like maybe a late assignment or something I struggled on trying to understand. They gave me resources, they gave me extra time, they worked with me to make sure that I understood. And then outside the classroom, they were like, I admire the way you work, I admire the way you came to me, so now I'm gonna write you a letter of recommendations. When I'm applying for internships or jobs, they're giving you letters and they're giving you recommendations. So really this helps all around, just getting to know your professors and using them as a resource. So.
Also, I would say get to know your department chairs and deans. I don't know about y'all's department, but Gibbs, like, they send out scholarships, internships, like you get to know these people, like they will literally put you on to internships. Like I know people in Gibbs as freshmen got internships, already got full-time jobs waiting on them out of school. So like really get to know your department chairs, deans, professors. Really, I say on the first day of classes, introduce yourself to your professor. They should know your name, bro. Like there's no way I'm gonna be in class, he doesn't know my name.
And as far as the professors, especially if you have like a bigger class size, like it's way more important to reach out to them, make sure they get to know you, so you stand out, as a student, because literally you're just a number to them for real. They're reading your paper and everything like that, so that's very important, reaching out to them. Like you said, letters of recommendations and stuff like that, all of that stuff is needed.
And then just on top of that, like if high schoolers are watching this, or like freshmen, incoming freshmen, your parents can't email your professors anymore.
Right.
I know we're used to that, like mom, like they didn't put my grade in, and mom's, let me tell them something.
Can't be mommy and daddy.
Your parents aren't gonna be there forever, so it's like it's kind of that adult life that you gotta get into, that you gotta talk to your professors, you gotta get to know them. That C can be an A. Just by knowing your professor, just by like communicating, just by showing up in class. If they see you're trying, they're gonna try for you back. That's what I learned. So
yeah, I kind of want to go off that. Like your teachers will work with you if you work with them. So I took a history class. I had a 93.9. That's an A-. I was like, hey, can you bump me up to hey. And she bumped me up to an A, because I was that student who was always in front of the class answering questions, office hours. Like if you work with them, then
Go to office hours. Go to office.
one last thing.
Go ahead.
Okay. I know we didn't talk too much about like NCAT, EDU, but all the resources we're talking about right now are on the website. So that's the gist of that.
Please tune in,
And then also before we end, please go check out the Aggie Source, the career fairs coming up, and career services. Go get y'all's resumes reviewed for the career fair, and also get some professional wear at the Aggie Source. Like you can go sign up and get free professional wear just for the event.
Professional wear, professional headshots, everything. The school offers it all. And I'll kind of close out right now. Our next episode will be released in 2 to 3 weeks. And it'll be on the career fair, kind of just a brief, introduction on what the career fair offered and some of the resources there as well. And I'll have a speaker with you all. So, yep. And also, last thing, we have the sophomore spotlight coming up right here, right now. It's gonna be like a little segment. So please, if you see your friend and he or she is in the sophomore spotlight, let them know, give them some kudos, congratulate them, okay? Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all.
Bye.